Hello, readers. My name is Mrs. Dixon, and I am a friend of your teacher, and I'd like to share a story with you today. If we hold our book up and look at this is the front cover of our book. And up here we see the title of our story. It's called Elizabeth's Doll. And under that, you'll see the name of the author, who is Stephanie Bodine. So she wrote the story. And also the illustrator is Christy Hale. And the illustrator draws all the pretty pictures. So the author writes the words and the illustrator draws the pictures. Now let's open to the next page, and this is called our title page. Elizabeth's Doll, and you'll see that the title is on that page again. That's why it's called the title page. Elizabeth had a new baby brother named Obadiah. Elizabeth watched Mama take care of him, and she wanted to care for her own baby. So here you see the mama, this Elizabeth, and the baby. Now she wants a baby just like her mom. She didn't have a doll, so she went outside and picked up a stick. She tried to hug it, but it poked her and she dropped it on the ground. Then Elizabeth picked up a rock. It was just the right size to hold, and it didn't poke her when she hugged it. She kissed the rock and named it Eva. When baby Obadiah had a bath, he splashed and he got Mama wet. Look at that. I bet you did that when you were little. When Eva had a bath, she behaved very nicely and only splashed a little. Remember, Eva is her baby, her pretend baby. I bet you've had pretend friends before. Mama fed Obadiah and he gave a loud burp. Elizabeth fed Eva, but she did a little polite. She was a little too polite to burp. So she wasn't going to do that because it's not nice. Mama changed the cloth wrapped around Obadiah's bottom, and it was very messy. Elizabeth was very relieved to find that Eva's bottom was still clean. When you were little, you had to wear a diaper, but we don't wear diapers now because you're growing up and you're getting big like Elizabeth. When Mama did her chores, she tied Obadiah onto her back with a bright cloth called kanga. When Elizabeth did her chores, she also tied Eva onto her back with a kanga. Mama had to help her a little. If you have a little brother or sister, you might see your mom carrying them in something like that. Elizabeth went to visit her friend Rahul. Rahali laughed when she saw that Elizabeth had a rock for a doll. But Rahali didn't have a doll either. So when Elizabeth left, Rahali found her own rock and named it Mossy. When Elizabeth got home, it was time for her to get water from the village well. She took Eva out of the kanga and laid her on the ground near some other rocks so she wouldn't be lonely. Then Elizabeth wrapped the kanga into a small bundle, put it on top of her head, and placed the water jug on top of the kanga. This was how she always carried water and other heavy things. You might have seen somebody on TV doing that before. Elizabeth soon returned with the water and took it to her sister, Penda. inside the cooking hut where all the family's meals were made. Then Elizabeth ran outside to get Eva, but Eva was gone. Oh no. Elizabeth looked all around, but she couldn't find Eva. How do you think she's feeling? I think she's probably scared and sad. Mama found a new rock and gave it to Elizabeti. Elizabeti shook her head when she saw it. The rock was just a rock. She said that was not her baby. Pinta also brought Elizabeth a rock, but it wasn't Eva either. Elizabeti was very sad and sat quietly until it was time to help Pinta in the cooking hut. So now she's feeling really sad because she can't find her rock, which was her pretend baby. The family had rice for dinner every night, and it was Elizabeth's job to put the pot of rice on the fire pit, which was made of 3 large stones. Elizabeth sadly filled the pot with water and set it in the stones to boil. But one of the stones wasn't a stone at all. Who do you think it was? That's right. It was Eva. Elizabeth called for her mama, and together they moved the pot of water and rolled Eva away from the fire. Although Eva was a bit dirty, she hadn't been hurt. Pinta ran outside to get a stone for the fire pit, which was just how poor Eva had become lost. Eva sat quietly while Elizabeth cleaned her off and hugged her. So how do you think she's feeling now? Probably happy. She has her baby back. At bedtime, Mama sang a lullaby and rocked Obadiah in her arms until he fell asleep. Elizabeth sang a lullaby too, but she fell asleep before Eva did. Oh, I bet your moms fall asleep sometimes before you, because moms get tired just like you do. Mama covered Elizabeth and Eva with a blanket. She smiled and thought that one day Elizabeth would make a good, fine mother. Eva thought so too. So in the beginning of this story, she wanted a doll, a baby, just like her mom had. So she went and found a rock to be her doll so that she could be just like her mom. So in this story, she went and found the little rock. She found a stick first, but she said it poked her, so she put that back. So then she went and found something else, and it was a rock. So that was her pretend baby, just like her mom had a baby. So when she lost her baby, do you remember how she felt? Sad and scared. But soon she found her rock, which was her baby. How does she feel then? Very happy. You're right. So she got her baby and took good care of it again, and then they went off to sleep to get some rest. Thank you, boys and girls. I hope you enjoyed that story, and I will see you again soon.